We'll get you the starting lineups as well. Starting with the Yale Bulldogs up front, Justin Pearson, Curtis Hall, and Tyler Welsh will start out front. Then back on D, Billy Sweezy and Phil Kemp. In net again tonight, Corbin Kaspersky. And on the other side, the top line for Harvard will be Jack Drury in the center with Nick Aberzisi and Casey Dorn back to his sides. Back on defense, Jack Rathbone and Ryan Seedham. And in net, a change for them tonight, Cameron Gornett instead of Mitchell Gibson, who's played the last few games for the Crimson.
It's been an impressive start for Gibson, another first year, coming off some big ones. He did play last night against Brown, but Gornett shut out the Bulldogs last year 3-0 up at the Bright Landry Center. Corbin Kaspersky played in the game here. That ended in a 3-3 tie. One game played only this season for Gornett thus far was against Dartmouth to open the season, a 7-3 win in which he stopped 44 of 47.
So it'll be a different look with Gornett and net for the Crimson tonight. Kemp outlets forward, and it's taken back the other way by Harvard. Aberzisi takes it into the corner and takes a hit, and we have a stoppage of play.
Another thing to note, Bridget Curtis Hall back in the lineup for the Yale Bulldogs, served a one-game suspension last night from the game disqualification he got last week at Cornell for the 5-minute major and a hit from behind.
Yeah, Curtis Hall, the leading goal scorer for for Yale. They missed him last night for sure in that 4-3 loss against Dartmouth.
Quite an exciting game we witnessed last night. A lot of back and forth. Yale with 2 leads. Dartmouth coming back. Then Dartmouth with the lead. Yale coming back to tie it. But Graber with that late goal to give Dartmouth the push they needed to finish off the Bulldogs and win 4-3. They're over in Providence tonight to take on the Brown Bears.
Paleko dumps it in deep. Play behind the net by Cameron Gornett. Riley Walsh will send the puck up high where St. Ivany will play, but it's poked ahead. It comes to Murphy. He takes a shot, and he scores on the first shot of the night for Harvard. He puts the Crimson up 1-0.
That's a tough turnover. Puck kind of bouncing on the Yale defense just over their blue line, but Harvard's able to capitalize. There's a reason why they're undefeated, why they're the number 13 ranked team in the nation right now, and this is one of them. Great play, great heads up there, and a quick little shot, low glove side. Harvard immediately scoring 50 seconds into this one. Not a good look for the Bulldogs.
And it's nothing new for the Crimson. They've scored first now in every game they've played so far this season. They've also won every contest so far. And they take an early lead here at the Whale.
These are their first 2 road games of the season, Bridget, but it doesn't seem to be affecting them negatively.
O'Neal dumps the puck into the offensive zone. It's taken the other way by Harvard. Rathbone will outlet, but his pass picked off by Matt Foley. Played behind the net for Corbin Kaspersky. He dumps it off to Matt Foley, who will carry up. Downhauser in over the line. He'll take a shot. That's deflected into the netting.
If you're the Bulldogs, you want to answer quick, get a good scoring opportunity, some momentum going your way. Good little look right there for Don Hauser's deflected shot, but the right idea, and they get an offensive zone face-off to try to answer.
So far this season, Yale struggling when allowing the first goal. They have not won a game after giving up that first goal. And to take the draw is Kyle Johnson, but instead it's won back by Gregoire. Cresco. Now to Jack Donato. The son of Ted Donato, the coach of the Crimson, the brother of Ryan Donato out in Minnesota for the Wild. Now started out with the Bruins, but made his way out in that trade for Charlie Coyle.
Having a great start to his professional career, and of course Harvard certainly missing him in some facets of their game, but really not too much. I mean, again, this is a team that's 4-0 to start this season. Last season, a great year that ended in the NCAA regional, facing UMass, a team that went to the Frozen Four.
Donato will carry out. He looks ahead, but doesn't quite connect with Gregoire, who sends it in deep. Kaspersky to play behind his own net, got caught up there for a moment. Pearson now up for Curtis Hall, the Bruins draft pick. He drops it for Welsh, who fans, then gets the shot off, covered in the crease by Gornett, and we'll get a few whistles here as there's a pile up in front.
Little whiff on the shot by Welsh, but it might have benefited just a little bit because he got Gornett to go down. Got the second shot off. A lot of traffic in front of the net. Maybe off a skate in the process, but Gornett, little trouble to cover it with all those bodies flying, but he's able to put a stop to the proceedings.
Curtis Hall was heading in with some speed on that play, ended up crashing into that pile. We have the Smith line out on the ice to take the draw. Evan Smith wins it back to the point. Now sent down low along the end boards and wrapped around. St. Ivany trying to hold along the boards. Drury sends it down for Riley Walsh. Picked off by Mitchell Smith. He'll send it through the zone. Bounces to the far side. A shot taken by Lindstrand goes wide of the net. Evan Smith has the puck taken away from him and up quickly the other way for Harvard. A shot goes through the crease. Abruzzese will send it around. Doesn't quite make it up to the point as Paleko picked it off. Mitchell Smith punches it out into the neutral zone, but it's regrouped. Thrun will carry. Now to Drury, his shot covered up by Kaspersky. Jack Drury with the shot. He's one of 8 drafted players on this Crimson team.
A lot of talent on this Crimson team this year, of course. A lot of questions coming in, losing players like Adam Fox and Lewis Zerger-Gossage after last season. But again, great start to the season. They're getting scoring from pretty much everyone so far. Obviously, we highlighted Abruzzese, but that top line has been great with Abruzzese, Drury, and Dornbach providing a lot of the scoring.
Puck poked out away from Welsh. We mentioned Jack Drury. He's a Carolina Hurricanes draft pick, and the second line centered by Jack Bedini, who's an Anaheim Ducks draft pick. Puck carried into the zone by Pearson. He takes a big hit. Puck comes out to Hall. He'll skate it behind the net. Looking out front for Welsh. Shot from the point, I believe, actually hit Hall before it could make it to the net. And another shot out front for Pearson. He scored the first goal for Yale last night.
Some great looks for the Bulldogs there, Bridget. That's how you answer.
Quick transition again, looking for Curtis Hall, but the puck ends up in the skates of the linesman. He apologizes, but it stopped the quick breakout opportunity for the Bulldogs.
Difficult play there. Not much you can do about it.
Picked off at center ice and dumped back low. Gornett will hand it off. Rafai will send it up. And that will go offside as Farinacci took it in a little bit too late.
Well, just 2 shots for both teams on goal. Of course, Harvard getting a goal in the process, but nevertheless, the Bulldogs, this last couple of plays, some great answers, trying to get something going. A couple of one-timers. Gornett had to make a couple of saves through traffic. Not making it easy these first few minutes.
That first Pearson goal of the game last night did come on a redirect. There was a lot of traffic out front. Pearson able to tip it in, so I think the Bulldogs need to emphasize that out in front of Gornett tonight. Puck with the Crimson in their zone, being held and sent to the point. Rafai will take the shot, but it's blocked, and now back behind the net for Farinacci. He gets pushed off the puck. That puck will bounce all the way the length of the ice and go for an icing.
Bulldogs trying to lay the body, similar to as they did last night against Dartmouth, but really not a lot of big hits, highlight reel style type hits we're seeing, but they are getting the body, trying to hold players up along the boards, cause some traffic jams, and that's what's going to be effective. You don't always need those loud hits, the ones that are going to get the crowd's attention. Those little ones that stop the puck are really going to help you out. And
there's some big players for the Bulldogs this season, including 6'3" junior Phil Kemp, who's definitely not afraid to lay a check on someone. Saw him with a few last night. He actually got a penalty on one of them, but nevertheless, he is a very physical player for Yale. Shot slung around wide. Thrun will try to race to the puck. Thrun turns with it and now down low. Donato is carrying behind the net through the crease. I believe that went off the post and comes back out the other way. It's O'Neill with it. He'll dump it down low. Johnson will give chase. Grabbed first by Thrun, the defenseman for the Crimson. Turned over there again. Gregoire is pushed into the corner, and Johnson comes out with it. He'll send it center, and the puck sent accidentally all the way back the other way. St. Ivany will grab. Quickly back up, and Johnson tips in. He's looking down low for Hayden Rowan, who's taken some big hits down. Abruzzese now going 1-on-2. He takes a long shot that's saved by Kaspersky. We'll get our first media time out here. It is 1-0, Harvard leading Yale. This is Ivy League Hockey on ESPN. Alongside Rob Ciambra. Rob, Yale had a tough, close loss in last night's game. What do they have to improve on here tonight?
Tonight, they have to watch the turnovers, and that's what happened on that first Harvard goal. I mean, it was an unfortunate bounce, but still a turnover, and we've seen a couple since then as well. Pass has got to be tape to tape, or just clear the puck off the glass out to the neutral zone for safety, make them regroup, dump the puck in, make them chase it.
Certainly can't get complacent in this game, as they allowed 3 different times last night Dartmouth to tie the game up only about 2 minutes after each of their goals. So have to be sharp throughout the game here against a very good ranked Harvard squad. Ryan Sidham will send the puck up, a hit. Paleko goes down, but then he's there to grab the puck. He sends a shot, saved by the stick of Gornett. First line back out on the ice. Drury will carry in and take a long shot. It seems like Harvard is just trying to get pucks on net. They don't really, the last few chances, they haven't really waited for anything to set up.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that wraparound that probably hit the post. Dartmouth scored a similar goal last night. Kaspersky was a little more wary of that happening, but still didn't get that leg out right in time. Got lucky, saved by the iron. But yeah, you're right. Harvard's just throwing everything they can to the net.
Rafai with the puck goes D to D. Sent down low, picked off by St. Ivany. He'll bank it off the glass. It bounces through the neutral zone.
Yale's kind of back in that conservative 1-2-2 style trap again, I've noticed. They send that first forward in deep, but the other two waiting out in the neutral zone by the red line, and the defense backed by their own blue line. I think that's kind of what you got to do with this Harvard team. They're a very aggressive, obviously a very good team, nationally ranked, undefeated coming into tonight. A little different than Dartmouth, a little bit different style of play as well.
And that Curtis Hall line definitely fast enough to run the trap. St. Ivany at the point sends it intentionally wide and into the corner back behind the net. St. Ivany will have to hold, but it's sent the other way and picked off by Lindstrand at center ice. Carried up into the zone. Now Hall with it, takes a shot. That bounces in on Gornett, but now in the corner. Welsh carries in, looking down low. A shot saved there by Pearson, who got it off in the crease. Now Harvard will carry the other way. Rafai sends it down low. Hall fighting down there. The Harvard player went down. The puck, however, comes out. Still a scrum for it. Lindstrand with a little bit more space sends it up, and it clears. We'll see if this goes for icing. They'll wave it off. And a big hit along the end boards. No arms go up, but Riley Welsh took a nice hit there.
Bulldogs getting a little more physical. Curtis Hall specifically back with a vengeance, laying the body, kind of like a wrecking ball out there. Also a scoring opportunity.
This one goes all the way down. Icing waved off. Kaspersky will play it. O'Neill. And now it's dumped up by Donhauser. Thrun sends it in deep. It wraps all the way around. Stevens will be there to play it. He's going to dump it in and get the line change. That Hayden Rowan line back out on the ice. Hayden Rowan, we mentioned, still looking for his first point of his career. We got a delayed penalty, I believe, coming up. Donato took a huge hit at center ice and slow to get to the bench. The arms went down, so I'm going to call that a clean hit, I believe. Rathbone takes a shot deflected in the slot by Krusko. Back to Rathbone. His shot blocked. Rathbone, the Vancouver Canucks draft pick, will skate with it at the point, sending it down low, redirected in on net by Abruzzese, and Yale will transition. Diorsi will dump it deep for himself and wait for some help from the bench. Puck picked off on its way to Drury. Sweezy anticipated, but quickly carried once again by the Crimson. Skating with it is Casey Dornbach, now up to the point. Rathbone skates it down low. Shot from Dornbach, saved by the glove of Kaspersky. Rathbone with it again, fakes the shot and sends it down deep. Drury is the man with the puck. Drury still with it in the corner. Fighting against him is Phil Kemp, who is able to poke it loose for a second. He gets it to Diorsi, who's been out on the ice for a long time. Paleko sends it center looking for Evan Smith. And the puck comes out of the zone.
Bulldogs trying to move the puck really quickly, but still a lot of passes really not going towards the player they wanted to go to, sort of out in the open. They're trying that no-look pass they tried a lot last night as well. It hasn't worked out that well.
Here comes Pearson with some speed. He sends it into the slot. Curtis Hall whiffs on the rebound chance, and it's taken the other way. Bedini sends it. It's Bowlby with it in the corner. Two players go down. Everybody's okay. Once again, no call on the play. Pearson looking for Curtis Hall. Hall plays it back to Jack St. Ivany. Welsh. Shot deflected off the end boards. The pressure on there by Luke Stevens, but the puck makes it all the way down to the other end, and Kaspersky will have to cover. We will have to take another media timeout. You're watching Ivy League hockey on ESPN. Welcome back to the Whale. Harvard leading Yale 1-0. 9 minutes to go in this first period of play. So far, Kaspersky was beat on the first Crimson shot of the game.
Since then, he's looked pretty sharp. There was that one wraparound opportunity that looked like it snuck by him but hit the post. But for the most part, he's been up to task. There was that one save with the glove that he wasn't able to close his hand on. We've seen it a couple times this year.
Thrun takes a one-timer from the point. That's saved by the pad of Kaspersky. He's able to cover up on another attempt there and taken the other way by Evan Smith. Smith skates and shoots hard off the end boards. Foley will poke it down. Smith lays the check, and it's up high. So they're going to call a hand pass on that play.
Well, that was a great flurry of an opportunity for Harvard. Kerfoot actually threw the puck back right before this play here by Smith to the backside of Kaspersky.
Shot goes just wide of the net of Cameron Gornett, the senior from St. Louis, Missouri, who is getting his second start on the season here. Believe it or not, he's given up just as many goals as Mitchell Gibson in his one game, as Gibson's given up in 3. Shot doesn't quite make it through traffic. Johnson gets another opportunity on net. The rebound was out in front for a moment, but Gornett able to cover it up.
Bridget, you're looking at the net. There's a goalie and 3 defenders there. That's the reason why this puck doesn't go in the net. A great look for the Bulldogs, but a couple of red jerseys keep that puck from crossing the goal line and wisely sliding it under their goaltender. If any other player covers the puck in the blue paint, that's a penalty shot.
Yeah, and all 3 of the Yale forwards were pretty much hanging out around the crease on that play. A big hit along the end boards. No arms up once again, puck carried in. Krusko loses his edge, and St. Ivany will play forward for Yale. Pass picked off and turned back by Gregoire. Jack Donato to play. And it's carried up by Krusko. Krusko, the captain of the Crimson this year, as voted for by his teammates. Rathbone with it at the point. His shot deflected, bounces down. Jack Donato fighting for it there. Diorsi will send up for Johnson. Johnson off the boards, looking to self-pass, but gets tied up. Abruzzese across and carried into the zone. Abruzzese grabs and sends it low. 7:38 remaining in this first period. Harvard with a 1-goal lead. Welsh to Pearson. Pearson through the slot, makes a move, but it's Followed all the way by Cameron Gornett, who covers it up.
Gornett up to task on the breakaway. Great look for Pearson, and you know what? Instead of going for the quick shot, tries to put the moves on Gornett. You see the replay. He goes with a little head fake, the leg lift to the backhand, but Gornett showing his seniority, showing he's been playing 4 years of college hockey, not falling for that first move, or the second move for that matter, or the third move for that matter. Stays right with Pearson, able to hold on to it.
And that was a nice breakaway opportunity. Almost looked like a penalty shot opportunity because no one in behind him. They are going to call a penalty on that play. It was late. We're getting the call that Justin Zito will go to the box.
I didn't see what the call was for, so we'll have to wait on the announcement.
We got a too many men on the ice penalty for Harvard. They're sending Zito in. He's the extra skater in tonight's game, so he'll sit for 2 minutes. Yale will get the first power play opportunity.
And they got their first power play goal of the season last night against Dartmouth. 1 for 16 on the season thus far. The Harvard penalty kill, 10 for 12 on the season, 83%.
Curtis Hall looking center for Pearson. A backhand shot deflected with a save by Gornett and cleared for the Crimson. St. Ivany, who had an assist on the power play last night, will carry here. He skates up and he'll send it back. Welsh into the zone. Past Hall, who pokes at it now on the near side, and another clear for the Crimson.
A little bit of miscommunication, it looked like, on that pass, trying to get the puck to Hall, and Harvard just clogs it up along the boards, able to clear it out. It's funny, last night, Bridget, Yale and Vermont were the only two teams without power play goals coming into the weekend, and both teams got power play goals last night.
Yeah, everybody has scored at least once on the power play this season in men's Division I hockey. Diorsi with it at the point, centers for Lillibridge. Now back to Diorsi, he skates in. To the captain, Evan Smith. Back to Lillibridge now, going over to the far side. Diorsi skates to the dot and sends it down low. A clear for the Crimson by Riley Walsh.
Looked like an unintentional attempt to pass there on a fake pass, and Harvard able to jump right on it and clear it out.
Diorsi tries to carry in over the line, but hits the skates of Evan Smith. The Bulldogs will have to get back on side. Don Hauser, self-pass off the boards. The Crimson trying to waste some time with it, held up in the corner, comes to Paleko. Paleko down low to Evan Smith behind the net. 12 seconds left on this power play. Diorsi takes a shot that's deflected into the netting.
Well, Bridget, it was kind of, sorry to cut you off, kind of an aggressive penalty kill for Harvard, clogging up along the boards. And the Bulldogs, when they've had to break back into the Harvard zone, it's been an aggressive, those first two players for Harvard, kind of aggressive up front, really forcing them to bunch up. The Yale players kind of unable to break through, or they have to dump the puck in because the passes just aren't going through.
I was going to agree with you there as a shot goes high from O'Neill that Harvard has done a really good job not allowing any close opportunities on that power play for the Bulldogs as it expires. And Zito will jump back onto the ice for the Crimson, back to even strength. Behind the net, stolen away from Rowan by Bedini, the Anaheim Ducks prospect. Luke Stevens lays a big hit along the end boards, but still coming out with the puck are the Crimson. Wrapped around deep. Just about 5 minutes left in this first period. Harvard maintains a 1-goal lead. O'Neill will play it out. And it's carried ahead by Hayden Rowan, who takes a big hit right in front of his own bench. The puck still stuck there. Rowan gets up and still fighting for it. Walsh looking for an outlet pass, but he's pressured by Pearson. He gets it to Thrun. Thrun will dump it up for Jack Donato. Played around to the far side, but picked off by the Bulldogs. It's Welsh to carry. Looking far side just to dump it in. Jack St. Ivany intercepts. Hall trying to poke it in. Welsh has the puck now, trying to send it far side. It just goes past Pearson. Pearson has the puck up to the point. St. Ivany, a one-timer, goes wide. St. Ivany has quite a fierce shot. We've seen it last night. We see it there again. A lot of pace on that one.
A lot of traffic in front of the net, too. The Bulldogs trying to get a deflection going, throwing anything they can for a redirection.
Yeah, St. Ivany, I'm sure, has been told to keep shooting from up there, looking for the redirection. Riley Walsh taps it up ice. It bounces to the stick of Jack St. Ivany. It goes the full length, and we'll get an icing call on the Bulldogs.
And the Bulldog bench unhappy with that call. Thought there might have been a deflection, but they will not win this argument. But, Bridget, gotta say, the Bulldogs have kind of responded well since Harvard scored. I mean, both teams have still gotten their fair share of opportunities.
This is a really important face-off for them now with Harvard right outside of Kaspersky to his right. Don't want a quick face-off win back to the point, which has been avoided now, as it's held by Casey Dornbach and sent up to the point, but past the reach of Ryan Seedham. Seedham chases it down, picked off by Donhauser. He wraps it in deep where Jack Rathbone will grab and look up ice for Drury. Picked off by Sweezy. And Luke Stevens sends it around the boards. That was a weird one, was stuck on the dasher there. Up ice, it's Casey Dornbach. He has his shot blocked. Didn't really get much on it. And carried up by O'Neill. O'Neill has a man going middle. It's Foley. Luke Stevens has it in the corner. I mentioned last night, Luke Stevens, the 6'4 senior, is a Carolina Hurricanes prospect. Drury the other way, also a Carolina Hurricanes prospect. It's Johnson carrying the puck over the Yale logo and dumping it in. Stolen and sent center, but didn't quite make it through to net as Gornett was actually out of his cage for a moment. And he'll glove it down. Time for another media timeout. Harvard still leading 1-0 over Yale. We'll be right back with more Ivy League hockey. I'm Bridget Prue alongside Rob Ciambra. Welcome back to the Whale, where Harvard leads Yale 1-0 in this first period. Just about 2:12 to go, and Hall will step in to take the offensive zone face-off for the Bulldogs. It's won back instead by the Crimson and sent up ice. Colton Kerfoot with the puck, a backhand that's blocked down by Pearson before it could reach Kaspersky. Shot from the point, gets through traffic, out loose in front. Thrun, hard intentionally off the end boards. Back behind the net, off Kaspersky and in. A goal scored by John Farinacci. He banked it in off the back of Kaspersky.
You saw that puck rise up, bounce off the shoulder, maybe the backside of Kaspersky, and roll right down his back into the net. A creative play there, and it's a 2-goal lead now for the Harvard Crimson.
Yeah, we've recently seen players in the NHL and elsewhere score that lacrosse-style goal from behind the net, lifting the puck. It wasn't quite that style goal, but it was a similar idea to try to sneak it around the goalie from behind him, where he doesn't have any way to keep an eye on it, and it puts Harvard up 2-0 in this game. Mitchell Smith with the puck, sends it to the far side. A quick shot and a nice save there by Gornett. A good response in the first shift after the goal by Yale.
It's a great response, and Gornett, give him all the credit in the world, having to go post to post on that pass and basically had to dive to stop that one. Yeah, that's tough. You know, you're the Bulldogs. You're trying to stay in this. Of course, it's a rivalry game. Your longtime rival, the Harvard Crimson. Sold-out crowd here at Ingalls Rink. It's a good response just seconds after that goal.
Face off, one back to the point.
John Farinacci, assisted by 77, Henry Thrun.
Carried into the zone and by Riley Walsh. His shot gets deflected up high. Smith trying to play it out of the zone, but it's held in and sent around by Jack Bedini. Picked off by Foley. Foley looks up for Evan Smith, a little bit ahead of him. We've seen that work for the Bulldogs. Hasn't resulted in a goal, but a few passes that made it tape to tape presented good opportunities for the Bulldogs. Paleko sends it a little bit too far. A check from behind, and Donhauser goes down. O'Neal skating over center ice now. Kemp loses the puck. Donhauser does a good job to grab it there because it would have been an odd man rush the other way.
Yeah, Kemp tried to sort of avoid a hit and spin off, but he lost the puck in the process.
The Crimson send it in deep. It'll be Billy Sweezy, who we highlighted it to start the game. First to the puck. Donhauser going in all alone, and he gets it poke-checked off his stick. Rathbone sends D to Ryan Seedham. Dornbach deflects it in, so no icing call there. 10 seconds to go in this first period. Harvard with a 2-goal lead. Sent ahead by O'Neal. Wrapped around behind, 2 seconds left to go. And Riley Walsh will just skate it out on this first period of play. And Rob, Yale, we know, was going to come into this game strong, but 2 goals in the first period. How do you think Keith Elaine's going to respond to that in this intermission?
Might have to change up the strategy a little bit, maybe get a little more aggressive, but at the same time, you got to be careful because Harvard is equally as aggressive already, if not even more so. So it's tough to counter. You got to be careful on defense. It's going to be interesting to see how the Bulldogs respond in the second period.
We'll get you back in the intermission with some highlights and stats. You're watching. Welcome back to Ingles Rink. In the first intermission, we'll get you the highlights from the first period here to come as Harvard leads Yale 2-0. And now this goal for the Crimson, the first goal came just 50 seconds into the period. It was tipped ahead, and RJ Murphy able to put it home. A few quick opportunities back the other way for the Bulldogs. A chance there you see for Welsh as a few players crashed the net, but Gornett able to cover up there. And missed opportunity out in front as it was a fan shot by Welsh. And Pearson with another great opportunity for the Bulldogs. We'll see one more here as a backhand attempt was made by Pearson but taken the other way.
Yale have a couple more opportunities. See Curtis Hall back in the lineup, getting an opportunity there, but Harvard roaring back with an opportunity of their own, toppling over Corbin Kaspersky.
Yeah, Kaspersky forced to make a few good saves in this period.
Gornett as well, though. Only his second game of the season, Bridget, and he has been kept busy by the Bulldogs. They've been quick to respond. You see a breakaway here. He stood strong on a couple of moves from Pearson going to the backhand, but Gornett following the puck the entire way. And then Harvard's second goal coming up, the weird bounce, and just flipped up right over and off the backside of Kaspersky. Not much you could do about it, just a frustrating goal. That was late in the third to give Harvard a 2-0 lead. Yale tried to answer right after. A quick post-to-post slide there by Gornett makes the big save.
Yeah, and so it's RJ Murphy from Henry Volby and Riley Walsh, and then Nick Farinacci from Henry Thrun and Ryan Seedham. And you see the breakdown of the first period stats. Yale leading in shots, but they have struggled in the faceoff dot.
Yeah, that kind of tells the story of the game so far, Bridget. Yale, a couple of faceoff wins has helped them break the puck out of the zone. A couple of defensive zone wins, even in the offensive zone, they've been able to set up something. But Harvard with more faceoff wins, as you see on the stats there, that's sort of helped them move the puck quickly in the defensive zone out to the down the ice to the offensive zone, and even in the offensive zone, Harvard just quickly moves the puck around the perimeter. And we mentioned earlier in the period, they just throw pucks on net and crash the net for rebounds, put a lot of traffic in front of Corbin Kaspersky. Even though Yale leads in shots on goal, still a lot of traffic and a lot of shots attempted for the Crimson. And
looking into the special teams so far tonight, the Bulldogs have not scored on their one power play opportunity that came on a too many men on the ice call in this first period of play. They did a good job not to put themselves down a man, though, because they have been struggling on the penalty kill so far this year. Yeah, it has not been a good penalty kill for the Bulldogs this season. Dartmouth took advantage of it last night. Bulldogs showing a lot of discipline. The refs have been letting them play. We'll give them that. There have been a couple of calls, or a couple of hits that could have been called. Refs letting them play, and the Bulldogs have been disciplined despite
a couple of opportunities where they probably could have been called.
So we will take a final break and get you back into this hockey game. The second period coming up. Harvard with a 2-0 lead over Yale. You're watching Ivy League hockey on ESPN. Second behind just Minnesota State. So they have solid defensive efforts and they can put the puck home. They know how to score. They've had scoring from the depth of their lineup, including some of their defensemen. They have pretty even scoring so far throughout the year.
And that's kind of what differs Harvard from Yale. I mean, you look at last year, obviously the Bulldogs had scoring come from almost all over the roster, but the main focal point of the roster was Joe Snively. Get the puck to Joe Snively when he's out on the ice. Harvard this year, obviously last year, look, Adam Fox getting a lot of assists and goals, a couple other players in that top category, but they're getting scoring from everywhere else, and that's what Yale, don't want to say they're struggling to find it, but that's something they have to learn to live without, because now Joe Snively's gone. You don't really want to make one player the focal point of the roster. You want to get that scoring from everyone.
Yeah, and Yale has 8 different goal scorers on the year, but only one with more than one goal on the season. That's Curtis Hall, the Bruins draft pick. Looking on the other hand, Harvard has 11 different goal scorers, 8 multi-goal contributors. So they've been getting some depth in scoring, and they've been able to put the puck in the back of the net with ease here this season. And they will look to add on here. They have 2 different games where they've scored 7 goals.
That just shows last week was one of them against Quinnipiac up at the Bright Landry Center. Quinnipiac was ranked ahead of them in the USCHO poll that week. They knocked them out completely with that win.
Curtis Hall gets a shot on net, deflected by the stick and wide for Gornett. Down low looking for Pearson. Goes past him. Crimson can't get it out of the zone. Pressured in deep, Jack Rathbone will look ahead. Phil Kemp intercepts. Kemp gets it to Pearson, now to Evan Smith. Turned and taken back up ice. Farinacci, who has the second goal of the game, sends a shot, but a glove save by Corbin Kaspersky.
Couple of key opportunities for Yale to start the period, but Harvard able to go back the other way. Send it over to a good shot on goal to Kaspersky, able to make the glove save.
Yeah, we'll see a replay on it here. The shot from Casey Dornbach is gloved down. Jack Bedini takes the draw for the Crimson. It's thrown back deep, picked off by Paleko. Paleko wraps around for Mitchell Smith. Back to Paleko, off the boards intentionally, trying to hit Evan. Smith will hold along the boards. He wanted to go to the point for St. Ivany, but it's stolen away.
Active stick work by Bowlby there. Great job. Just get the stick in the passing lane. We know St. Ivany's got a cannon of a slap shot, and that's what the Bulldogs are trying to accomplish there. Bowlby thwarts it.
Riley Walsh, the New Jersey Devils draft pick, sends it up ice for Henry Thun. Now taken away. A pass that went wide for Lindstrand now ends up back with the Crimson in their own offensive zone. It's Baker Shore. Shore takes a hard hit along the end boards from Lindstrand. He gets up, Lindstrand outlets. Carrying up is O'Neill. O'Neill from just outside the dot takes a shot, a rebound opportunity from Lillibridge, and another save made by Cameron Gornett.
Gornett out to the top of the crease, almost completely out of the blue paint after giving up a loud rebound, clearing everyone, going right out to the slot. Great look for the Bulldogs here. This is a shot for a rebound by O'Neill. And of course you see Lillibridge trailing in the high slot, but again, great save by Gornett. No traffic in front of him. He's out to the top of the crease to cut off every angle possible.
Yeah, good look for that shift as the fourth line steps out on the ice for Keith Elaine's squad, centered by Hayden Rowan. Back to grab his Lillibridge. He'll send to his defensive partner, Foley. Foley up ice, past Rowan, and it'll be an icing.
Well, Bridget, we noted it a little bit last night. New set of boards and glass in Ingles Rink this year, and the Bulldogs have been using it a little more and more each game. This is only their third home game of the year, of course, practicing it as well. Practicing passes and whatnot, seeing how the rebounds come off the boards, and they're using the board pass sort of as an indirect pass a little more frequently than we're used to seeing.
They use it a lot of times as a self-pass if they don't have any support. Johnson will scoop it in. It'll bounce to the end boards. Johnson gets it to Diorsi. Diorsi misses the pass to the point. Foley takes a big hit along the end boards. That was Donato laying the check. And we have a delayed penalty on that play, so Kaspersky will leave the net. The Bulldogs get the extra attacker on the ice. Lillibridge holds and waits for the extra attacker to get there. He carries, and it will be O'Neal. O'Neal gets tripped on his way into the zone. Will we see another penalty for that? We'll find out.
Well, the first call is going to be an elbow, and I don't think we're going to get a second call, which, I don't know, I thought there should have been.
It was an elbow from Jack Donato. He skates to the box. We see the replay there. He came a little bit high on his hit. So he'll step in. Doesn't look like they'll leave the door open for another player from Harvard. So they get away with that trip at the end of the shift. That's one way to stop Yale from scoring with the extra attacker on.
Certainly interesting. They're called, like I said, they called the elbow. It didn't look that, I guess, obvious to be a penalty, especially with the way the refs have been letting them play.
The trip was, in my mind, more obvious of a penalty than that elbow from Jack Donato. But either way, Yale will go on their second power play of the night. They did not manage a goal on the first. And the puck sent out and cleared early on in this penalty kill.
And again, an aggressive forecheck by the penalty killers.
Carried up by Jack St. Ivany. Pearson carries in with some speed. He looks middle, but he holds on to the puck. Looks up to the point. It comes to the center of the point from St. Ivany. A one-time shot taken but blocked wide by Phil Kemp. Carried in by Tyler Welsh. Now looking up to the point for St. Ivany. Back to Kemp. St. Ivany hits Welsh, who skates it down to the dot. Wrist shot and a glove save made by Cameron Gornett.
Yeah, the first time around, the Bulldogs worked the puck up to the point. They got the one-timer from Kemp, but a great block shot by Riley Walsh. They work it around the perimeter again, back to the point. Instead, Welsh elects to walk it in and get a shot, but Gornett able to see that one all the way, came out to the top of the crease.
1:07 left to go in this Bulldogs power play. The unit on the ice right now is that Evan Smith line. A redirect goes just wide. Diorsi was down low trying to tip it in. Lillibridge plays it down, but he doesn't connect. It's wrapped around. Paleko trying to hold along the boards to Evan Smith, and Gornett will have to cover up.
Pounces on that one with Donhauser, in front of the net, trying to get to that rebound. And that was just an awkward angle of a missed pass, bounced off the boards.
We'll see the opportunity from Paleko looking down low to Diorsi. He just missed the net on that redirection. The Smith line stays out. It's Smith, Paleko, Donhauser, Lillibridge. And a shot from the point goes wide. It's Diorsi. Lillibridge through traffic. Crimson try to clear. Diorsi holds at the line.
That's a nice keeping by Diorsi.
Comes out to Donhauser, but stolen and taken quickly the other way by Gregoire. He sends it center in a shorthanded opportunity. That doesn't go for Jack Rathbone. 13 seconds left to go on the Yale power play. A 4-on-3 developing. Paleko grabs the puck off the board, sends it to the point. Diorsi, a shot and a glove save by Cameron Gornett, who saw that all the way. Just 1 second left before Donato will come out of the box. He's serving that elbowing penalty.
It's Take a look at that shorthanded opportunity. Again, nice saucer pass over to Rathbone, just unable to get the shot. Totally off. Had Kaspersky moving from one post to the other, almost a wide open net.
And Rathbone has 3 goals on the season already. Almost had another there. That'll do it for this Yale power play. Everybody back to 5-on-5 hockey. Rowan dumps in deep. Riley Walsh sends it around. Carried up an ice now by Bowlby. He dumps back. A shot taken and covered up by Kaspersky. Baker Shore was the shooter on that. We'll get a quick timeout here. We'll be back. Harvard still up by 2. You're listening to Ivy League Hockey on ESPN. Bridget Prue alongside Rob Ciambra here in New Haven, Connecticut, where the Crimson lead the Bulldogs 2-0. Both of those goals coming in the first period. Harvard with a face-off in their own zone, 1 back. Shot from the point deflected. Carrying up is Pearson. And sent around, but past Foley. Seeing Brandon Tabakin in for the first time tonight. He wears number 7 for the Bulldogs. He didn't see time in last night's game, but he's out there on defense. He goes to touch the puck, but gets bumped off it there. Baker Shore sends it to the point, comes to Walsh. Walsh a shot high off the end glass. Now Tabakin is the extra player dressed, and we have a penalty called here behind the net.
See what the call is, but Welsh was on the receiving end right behind the net, trying to clear the puck out. Yale will get a 3rd power play, as it'll be Colton Kerfoot heading off. Let's take a look at it again here.
Yeah, blindside hit, caught him a little bit up high. I don't think on the head, maybe the shoulder. Looks like they're not going to look at it, so they don't think it was contact to the head. But it is Colton Kerfoot who steps to the box. His brother Alex also played for Harvard, but now he is on the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Going through some dental surgery this week. Taking some offsides here by Harvard. Yeah, Alex Kerfoot, a little damage up in the mouth area. Unfortunately, you hit the pros, you lose that full cage. You go with the visor. Got to protect yourself. I'm certainly someone who has been on the receiving end of a stick to the face, and it wasn't fun, Bridget.
Well, you're recovered. Everything is healed up now. But yes, Alex Kerfoot has turned out to be one of the better players that Harvard has produced. On the power play, 1:43 left for the Bulldogs. Paleko, a shot from the point wide. Evan Smith now up to Paleko. Paleko looking down low, just outside of the reach of Evan Smith, and it's cleared strong and on net.
Harvard quick to change that unit out. The Bulldogs get a couple of fresh legs on the ice.
Graham Lillibridge hits Paleko. Paleko banks it around. Diorsi there. Lillibridge back to Diorsi quickly. Paleko with a shot from the dot. It's bouncing in front, and quick to jump on it is Cameron Gornett.
Hall tried to get a deflection on it, moving right in front of Gornett at the last moment. Bulldogs with some quick puck movement here. You see that quick little saucer pass right across the zone, and a quick shot from Paleko, and it's aggressive penalty kill. That's what you got to do. And
it was a good job to find that seam with Paleko wide open on the near side dot. He ends up with the opportunity. It doesn't go, but a good look on the power play. 1:09 left. Yale's 3rd power play of the night. Puck is stuck under a few players. Pearson finds it. Pearson knocked over in the corner. Comes out to Hall. Hall skating into the crease. Loses the puck, but held in by Phil Kemp. St. Ivany fakes the shot, looks down low to Pearson. Into the slot for Hall. A shot bounces wide.
Yeah, Hall didn't get all of it, but he got just enough.
Kemp to St. Ivany. Back to St. Ivany. Another laser off the end boards. Kemp will wrap it around for Pearson. Goes to Tyler Welsh, back to Pearson. 32 seconds left. He takes a shot off the post, and Pearson grabs his own rebound. It was actually the back side of the post. Kemp chases the puck down, held in by St. Ivany, but only for a moment. 17 seconds left to go on this power play. Colton Kerfoot in the box for elbowing. A long clear played by Kaspersky. He'll hold on. 5 seconds to go. Yale about to successfully kill off their third penalty of the night. They do, as we're back to even strength. O'Neal bumps into the ref, and it's taken now by the Crimson. No goals in this second period. Both of the Harvard goals came earlier in the game. If you missed it, RJ Murphy and Nick Farinacci were the goal scorers. A puck looped into the offensive zone, and a big hit. They're going to get Luke Stevens. I'm guessing interference. He hit the player who did not have the puck. It was kind of an incidental contact, in my opinion. As you see, Rowan sending the puck up for Luke Stevens, who thinks the pass is going to make it all the way through. It doesn't end up getting to him. So, unfortunate there. Stevens will have to take a seat.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an in-between call. It's a big hit. They're going to call him for charging. Maybe the feet didn't stop moving. That kind of happens when you're one of the taller players on the ice. You know, the refs will sometimes make a call, even if it's shoulder on shoulder. In this case, a charging call. Harvard to their first power play of the game. They're already up 2-0. A big opportunity for them to build the lead even more.
So the penalty on the 6'3", 210-pound Phil Kemp in the box. It's Abruzzese now to the point. Rathbone. He'll get it back at the center of the point. Now Abruzzese. He holds. Rathbone. Back to Abruzzese. A quick pass through the seam. Lindstrom blocks. Looking for Dornbach in the center, but picked off by Mitchell Smith. He dumps in deep, and it's deflected up and out of play. A weird bounce on that.
Yeah, Gardette got a piece of it. You see the Smith twins do that sometimes. When they get a chance on the penalty kill, they'll rush it up, but they needed the change there, so they elect to dump it in, and it'll turn into an offensive zone draw for the Bulldogs. Yeah,
and where it hit in this rink, that has a lot of strange features. It hit, I believe that's the ventilation system out behind the netting.
Every once in a while, a puck will hit it, sometimes even land on top of it.
Yeah, it took a weird ricochet there. The offensive zone face-off for the Bulldogs doesn't go their way. Harvard will hold. 1:19 left in the first Crimson power play of the night. Skated ahead by Kerfoot. He holds. Sends it to the near side for Farinacci. Now back to the point. It's Henry Thrun. Now to Colton Kerfoot, back to Thrun. One-timer blocked in front by Tyler Welsh. Thrun has a big shot as well. 6'2", first year, 195 pounds. Sent to the far side for Farinacci. Thrun gets it back. He'll skate with it. 42 seconds left on the Harvard man advantage. Colton Kerfoot's shot blocked down by Foley. Badini sends it far side. Now it comes to Kerfoot. Bang, bang passes for Harvard, but it's Corbin Kaspersky able to get a piece of it.
Yeah, it looks like it went off his shoulder and hit the netting. A couple of blocked shots. A lot of quick movement of the puck by Harvard on this power play. And you see Kerfoot doesn't really have a lot of net to shoot at, but he's wide open. Tries to sneak that one over the shoulder of Kaspersky, but gets a piece of him.
Yeah, Colton Kerfoot has one goal in the season so far. He just misses there. Kaspersky able to follow it. 28 seconds remaining on the Harvard power play. Jack Drury in to take the face-off. Yale will possess. Mitchell Smith scoops it out on the backhand. A big hit into the Yale bench, trying to take out Jack Rathbone. Casey Dornbach gets hit and loses a glove. We got a delayed penalty coming here as Gornett will exit the net, but it's touched up by Yale, so It's going to be a 5-second two-man advantage. And this one could be interesting because it looks like it was a hit up high.
See who goes off. Lindstrand's coming off the ice limping, and I think it's Billy Sweezy going off. I mean, he's known for sending those big hits, trying to send a message. I'm a little surprised. Maybe it did come up high a bit, and that's what they're calling, and all the referees are getting together now to talk about it.
And when you get a hit up high, you can review it to see if it deserves 2, 5, a game misconduct, or a game disqualification, which we saw happen to Curtis Hall just 2 games ago at Cornell. And we also are watching the Harvard players trying to get their game plan for this very quick 5-second two-man advantage, trying to get a set play off the draw to draw something up. And the referees decide they're not going to look at anything further, that it's not going to be a 5-minute penalty, just going to be the 2 minutes to Billy Sweezy, a roughing call. But coming out of the box is Luke Stevens, so it's a 5-on-4 now for the Crimson. 9 minutes left to go in the second period. Harvard has the 2-goal lead.
And that was a big face-off win for the Bulldogs, and they just skated it out to waste the 5 seconds to take away the 5-on-3, turn to a 5-on-4. End up getting a shot on goal as well.
It's carried behind the net. Another big hit laid by Phil Kemp. 126 on the man advantage remaining for the Crimson. And a clear by Kemp gets it all the way the length of the ice. That first penalty kill unit will hop off. Get some fresh legs on the ice for the Bulldogs unit. Harvard electing to kind of play it slowly here on the breakout. Carried up and into the zone. That could have been called offside. It looked like he was in a little bit early, but nevertheless, it's cleared down by the Bulldogs.
And it looks like a little bit of miscommunication on the passing, too. Only 2 forwards skating up with the puck on this power play for Harvard. 3 skaters sort of hanging behind, maybe going off for a change, but nevertheless, kind of a unsuccessful start to the power play so far.
It seems like they've been intentionally trying to set up a slower pace to start out the breakout, but it hasn't been working in their favor, as is only 30 seconds left on this man advantage. No good chances, really, even though they started out only 5 seconds, but they had a 2-man advantage briefly.
We talked about the Yale penalty kill not being as good this season, but it has looked really good in this moment of play.
And a poke check by Evan Smith gets the puck back out. 13 seconds remaining on the power play, wrapped around deep. A shot and a glove save on Baker Shore by Corbin Kaspersky with just 2 seconds before Billy Sweezy will exit the box.
I'm going to take another look at this. I don't know if Evan Smith got a piece of this shot, because he looked like he was trying to block it. I think he did, but still, Kaspersky able to glove it out and stop the proceedings. Just 2 seconds left on this Yale penalty.
Yeah, Yale still listed as the leader in shots by quite a bit. 21-12 is what we have for shots. The advantage going to the Bulldogs. Had a lot to do with the fact that Harvard has taken 3 penalties, and this one is over. We're back to even strength. O'Neal carries. Shot comes wide. Luke Stevens looking for the empty net. He can't get it in as Gornett slid back in front. St. Ivany gives chase. A big cheer there as St. Ivany came out with the puck. 6:45 to go in the second period. Yale looking to get on the board without a goal so far in tonight's game. And they'll take away the puck. O'Neal skates in, makes a few moves. Now he's behind the net, comes out. Tabakin tries to go for the one-timer, but he fans on it. It's picked off. Farinacci going against Tabakin. The puck is covered by Kaspersky, and we will get a timeout. It's 2-0 Harvard. This is the Ivy League on ESPN. Welcome back to the campus of Yale University. Harvard leads the Yale men's hockey team 2-0, but I want to get you the score from earlier today from the Yale football game. An important win and a big one 51-19 over Princeton. And Dartmouth also losing to Cornell 20-17. So that means that Yale and Dartmouth are tied atop the Ivy League. They will play next week to determine who will be the Ivy League champion. And we had a big game over with Yale volleyball earlier today as well. That game just finished up. Face off, one back and sent up ice. Welsh to Pearson. Pearson dropping back for Welsh, a one-timer, and it's saved by Gornett.
Well, Bridget, a note on the Bulldogs. Despite being down 2-0, they are still responding well, getting shots on goal, getting a lot of scoring opportunities, trying to show Harvard that they will not be bullied on their home ice. And they're laying the body, took a few penalties in the process, nevertheless responding well, still fighting to get back into this game. They're not out of it by any means.
No, 2 goals, not a deficit that's impossible to come back from. Still doing a good job blanking Harvard in this second period. It's Jack Bedini playing the puck. Now to Riley Walsh. Walsh sends it into the neutral zone for Murphy. Taken by Lindstrand for the Bulldogs and sent D to D to Jack St. Ivany. He looks up, hits Tyler Welsh, who will send a saucer pass into the far side corner for Pearson. Pearson takes a hit, but comes out with the puck. He curls back down low. Puck comes out, but past Bowlby. St. Ivany there to grab. Gets forechecked by Bowlby, but gets it to Lindstrand. All the way up and around, and it goes for icing. Evan Smith wasn't able to get a stick on the puck.
Yeah, Bulldogs looking for that stretch pass again with Evan Smith on that far blue line, and puck moving a little too fast, maybe even hopped over his stick with the ice being a little chopped up late in this period. They'll now have to deal with a defensive zone faceoff.
And they change up the personnel a little bit, bring Phil Kemp back on the ice. It'll be Evan Smith out to take the draw against Jack Drury. Drury goes hard into the boards against Evan Smith. Drury ends up on the ice. Smith ends up with the puck. Here comes Evan Smith. An outlet pass up to Billy Sweezy. He'll dump it in. A line change made. Evan Smith holding the puck along the end boards. It's Billy Sweezy looking to hit Paleko, but it goes far out of his reach. Held in by Rowan. 4:30 left to go in the second period. The puck deep in the Yale zone now, having to be covered up by Gornett. A few opportunities on the rebound there for Yale, but we remain with a 2-0 Harvard lead. You're watching through alongside Rob Ciambra here at Ingles Rink. 4:28 remaining in the second period. No goals scored here in this second frame.
Bulldogs doing an excellent job, though, getting shots on goal, trying to keep themselves in this despite being down 2 goals. Harvard countering with some attack, keeping Corbin Kaspersky busy as well, but lately the ice been tilting in the Bulldogs' direction.
Lillibridge takes the hit, and that's going to be a penalty. Whistle dead, and we'll see a 4th power play for the Bulldogs.
And the most recent power play for the Bulldogs looks pretty good. They were moving the puck around well, trying to get pucks down to the front of the net. Few block shots and deflections and shots wide, as you see the replay of the call here. Nevertheless, good looks for the Bulldogs. They need to keep the momentum moving eventually so they could try to break through Cameron Gornett.
Colton Kerfoot, familiar with the Bucks from earlier in this period. He took an elbowing call. He'll take his second trip now. A tripping call for Colton Kerfoot this time. 4:17 to play in the second period. Curtis Hall is out to take the draw, one back instead by Baker Shore.
2 minutes tripping at 15:43.
Cleared up and all the way the length of the ice by Riley Walsh. St. Ivany will carry out for the Bulldogs. At center ice for Curtis Hall, now back down low. Pearson, and the puck deflects into the Harvard bench.
Nice catch by Harvard head coach Ted Donato. A little fist pump in the process as well. But Harvard, as you see on that, with that deflection right there, they kind of have anticipated this Bulldog breakout and the way they set up the power play with those passes back in the neutral zone and then coming across the ice, get a stick in the passing lane, almost a dangerous turnover because of it. But instead, luckily for the Bulldogs, just a deflection out of play.
Kemp carries it in and hands off for Pearson. Down low for Curtis Hall. Kemp will grab it on the backhand. Kemp up to the point, St. Ivany. Now for Pearson, back to St. Ivany. He likes to work from the center of the point on the power play. It's Welsh down low. Pearson, a shot and a save. A second shot from Kemp deflected high.
Puck was spinning on its side there, so really tough to control where that goes.
Two good chances there for Yale with 57 seconds remaining on this fourth power play. It's Pearson. He makes a move, and his shot goes off the chest and a save by Gornett. And we got a pile up in front. They're going to have to blow it dead as the puck got lost there.
Great little flurry of opportunities. Another excellent start to the power play for the Bulldogs. Moving the puck around. This time they work it low. Rebound there. There's that Kemp shot with the puck on its side. But they're able to get the puck back and really trying to work it towards the front.
They've had a lot of time on the power play, and thus they have progressed. It seems this being their best power play so far. An outlet sent the length of the ice for the Crimson. Evan Smith has to take a little bit of extra time. He's being forechecked by Henry Bowlby. Lillibridge now over center ice and into the zone. Paleko holds and sends down low for Lillibridge. The defenseman that's in low, he'll carry back up to the point. He goes to Diorsi. Diorsi skates down past the dot and curls back up. 12 seconds left on this power play for the Bulldogs, and a clear by Rathbone. He stole the puck and sent it in deep. That's going to kill off the rest of this, as Kaspersky forced to play it deep behind his own net. And Colton Kerfoot out of the box. We're back to even strength.
That's a good kill towards the end there by Harvard. Got in the shooting lane. Diorsi, that's why he took it all the way low, and then he was forced to the outside.
Baker Shore is shot blocker down by Kaspersky. Comes back up to the point. Sent down low. Carrying is Henry Thrun. And an accidental pass out of reach from the point. Walsh will regroup deep in his own zone. 1:45 remaining in the period. 2-0 the score as Harvard maintains the lead. Stevens was trying to make a steal. Instead, it's O'Neal. Comes in for a shot for Pearson. It bloops up in the air. Stevens unable to poke it in on the far side post. A dangerous bouncing puck out in front of the net. Stevens shoveling in the corner. Pearson has it, trying to curl back. Farinacci dumps the puck out, and a tired Crimson line will get a change.
1 minute left to play in the period. 1 minute.
It's Stormback with the puck, heading into the slot, but pushed out. A good physical bump there by Foley. The puck was looped up in the air and came out of the zone. Tyler Welsh finds it. Welsh drops back. Shot from Pearson off the chest. And it's coming back the other way. We'll have a delayed penalty on the Bulldogs as they touch the puck up.
Looks like it's going to be a slashing call. Saw a stick get chopped out of the hands of a Harvard player. I think it was Dornbach. And Harvard will get 31 seconds of a power play. That'll carry over if they don't score into the third period.
If you're the Bulldogs, you never want to take a penalty in your own offensive zone. We'll see that little slash there. You're right. That's what we see on the call. But when you're in your offensive zone, you're not putting the puck in harm's way usually if you let the player carry out with it. So it's always hard when you see your team, if you're Keith Elaine, take a penalty on the offensive end. And
the momentum was in sort of swinging in the direction of the Bulldogs, but it's going to be tough to start the third period shorthanded.
Only 31 seconds of the power play to come in this period. Phil Kemp sends to Mitchell Smith. He'll try to hold it along the boards instead of trying to chip it out. Evan Smith shuffles it down.
It was actually a tripping call. I thought it was a slash the way the stick sort of flew out of Dornbach's hands.
Yeah, I think they could have called either on that. Another 5 seconds left to go in this period. It looks like maybe just one more chance. And no shots at the end of this power play for Harvard, but still they carry the momentum into the second period with still 1:30 left to go on their power play.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting start to the third because the Bulldogs responded well in the second, but they're going to be shorthanded for 1.5 minutes to start the third period, and they're still down 2-0, Bridget.
So Harvard's still in the lead. You're watching Ivy League hockey on ESPN. This weekend, we will get you some of the highlights, starting with this one, an opportunity for the Bulldogs. The Lillibridge chance, he took a shot on the trailing play, but it's saved again. This one from Paleko, redirected out in front by Diorsi, didn't make it quite through to the net, and then coming back the other way, the Crimson had a few good opportunities as well. That one by Rathbone, trying to beat Kaspersky, but couldn't do it there. Paleko tried to get that one in on Gordonette. A few opportunities on the power play in this second period.
They see an opportunity here for Harvard. This is on the power play, Bridget. Kerfoot wide open, but Kaspersky at the top of his crease, able to make a stop there. Foley going the other way for the Bulldogs, got an opportunity. I think this was shorthanded as well, but killing some time off and getting a shot on goal for the Bulldogs as they lead by a wide margin, which we'll get to in a moment. Bulldogs putting a lot of pressure on Cameron Gordonette. He's had to make a lot of saves going from post to post, kind of diving across the crease like that you just saw right there. They just kept it going, a lot of traffic towards the front of the net, but he's also stood tall in net, hasn't allowed a goal yet, came to the top of his crease, cutting off the angles. Tough one as well off the chest, and still not allowing anything for the Bulldogs.
As you see, though, the Bulldogs haven't been making it an easy night by any means for Cameron Gordonette as he survived that bouncing puck through the crease. An impressive 28 save night for him, and a second period littered with penalties on both sides. So far, both teams, though, without goals on the power play. 7 penalties taken total, 6 of them in the second period.
Yeah, it's something that it was kind of surprising with Yale finally breaking through on the power play last night, and they've looked good on the power play. Each one tonight has just been consistent improvement. Still unable to score, great puck movement. Harvard, you could say the same thing. Each power play, some good puck movement, a couple of good opportunities, but also both penalty kills. When they've gotten the puck, they've been able to clear it out quickly, move it up the boards. So kind of a testament to both sides of the special teams tonight.
2-0 Harvard. One more quick break, then we'll return with the third period of play here at Inglewood. Tuning in to the Ivy League on ESPN. I'm Bridget Prue alongside Rob Siamra. Rob, we mentioned in the intermission, Yale doing everything but score in the opening 2 periods. Anything you think they need to change here as they start this period on a power play?
Well, it's going to be a pretty difficult being shorthanded, for 1:30 to start this period. Harvard, of course, looked good on the power play. For the Bulldogs, it's tough. You have to kill off this 1:30, and then you got to go back and keep peppering shots on Cameron Gordonette, but yet they need to put more traffic to the front of the net as well. They've been doing everything, as you mentioned, but score. It's a final period. Time's ticking down. Down 2 goals. You got to get the first one before you get the second.
So 1:30 left on this power play for the Crimson. A face-off, one back to Rathbone. Puck sent in deep. It'll bounce into the corner. Phil Kemp touches up. Mitchell Smith trying to get the puck out of the zone. He elects to hold it along the boards. Comes out to the point. It's Walsh. He goes D to D. Jack Rathbone. Down low. The pass looking for Drury. Now over to Abruzzese. To the point for Walsh. One-timer attempted by Rathbone. He didn't like that. He didn't get all of it. And sent ahead, Mitchell Smith going one-on-one. His shot goes high off the end glass. 41 seconds on the Crimson power play remaining. It's Dornbach. He hits Drury. Now centers it. Walsh scores on the power play. And it's 3-0 Harvard.
An incredible scoring opportunity for the Bulldogs, shorthanded, and it's in the blink of an eye later, Harvard takes the puck down and scores a quick shot on the rush, a power play goal. Still within a minute of the start of this period, they take a 3-0 lead, and that's what happens when you start the period shorthanded. Anything can really happen. I mean, nearly a shorthanded goal by Mitchell Smith goes back the other way, and Harvard takes advantage.
Yeah, the Bulldogs had killed off a majority of the penalty, but that entry into the zone was with some speed, and they hit Riley Walsh, the trailer. That's his second goal of the season, and it puts Harvard up 3-0. Another early goal. They scored early in the first period, now once again early in the second. That came 56 seconds into the period. That, if you remember, that RJ Murphy goal came 50 seconds into the first.
If you're the Yale Bulldogs, of course, you don't want to go into panic mode, but you got to realize now it's a 3-goal deficit. You got to keep the puck moving.
There's RJ Murphy with the shot off the skates and taken the other way by Curtis Hall. Bowlby will deflect it in, and the third line for the Crimson will get on the ice. A bouncing puck rolls in and paddled aside by Gornett. Johnson with the puck along the end boards gets it to Diorsi. Diorsi takes a shot, saved by Gornett.
Kind of like that move from Diorsi. He has the option to make the pass, but instead he kind of fakes the pass with a quick turn and shoot there, Bridget, trying to catch Gornett off guard. And again, Bulldogs down 3-0. You got to try anything you can. Keep throwing pucks to the net. It's a shot on goal. Gornett's able to cover up, and now it's an offensive zone faceoff. 30
saves for Gornett, who's had an impressive night. Rowan wins it back. Now to the point, Lillibridge dumps it on the backhand down low. Rowan comes out, sends it to Lillibridge, who wraps around for Diorsi. Diorsi takes a hit, still has the puck in the corner. Comes out for Johnson, but skips over his skate. Now Colton Kerfoot will just lightly send it down low. Another line change for the Crimson.
For the Crimson, now they have an early goal in this period, a 3-goal lead, a little bit of insurance. Still, you got to be careful because the Bulldogs have been buzzing and they're getting a lot of shots on goal. But now it's just a matter of killing time and winding that clock down till the end.
Don Hauser carries in, makes a move, but he loses the puck for a moment, gets the handle back on it. It's in the corner with Luke Stevens, comes out to Don Hauser. O'Neal carries and sends to the point for St. Ivany, D-to-D. Lindstrand muscles the puck down low. Don Hauser holds on the backhand. He skates center. Pass back to St. Ivany. His shot goes through traffic and a pad save by Gornett. Taken the other way now by the captain for the Crimson and set up to Jack Donato. Donato waiting for some reinforcements. Carries through the zone. Thrun now down low to Dornbach, and it's covered up by Kaspersky.
Quick little shot on a sharp angle there. Kaspersky able to hold on as Drury is sort of thrown right into him. A couple of good looks for the Bulldogs a moment ago, though, and Harvard answering with an opportunity of their own. As I mentioned, now a 3-goal lead for them. Got to kill the time, but also with 3-goal lead, a little insurance, you can kind of afford to continue to put the pressure on and just try to sort of run up the score a little bit, try to get another goal and just run away with it, take even less pressure off themselves.
They will need a comeback in this one. 16:30 remaining in the third period. The Bulldogs down by 3. Kemp plays it. Sweezy looks like he almost lays a check there on the referee, but he just was trying to get around him to the puck. Carried up and dumped in. Paleko, a self-pass. The first to the puck is the goaltender, Cameron Gornett. Turnover in the offensive zone, comes back down low. It's Phil Kemp, stick handling. And it's chipped back out by Abruzzese. Sweezy tries to connect with Evan Smith, but the puck won't settle. And Riley Walsh, the latest goal scorer, sends the puck up ice. It comes back to him.
Talks about Abruzzese at the top of the broadcast bridge. Kind of quiet tonight.
Yeah, he hasn't factored in so far. But we've seen him out there with a few good shifts. St. Ivany steals. Looks for the middle, was trying to hit Curtis Hall, but didn't connect. It's Tyler Walsh. A shot from Pearson, saved by the pads of Gornett. Another shot goes blocked high into the far side boards. A few good opportunities here for the Bulldogs. Held in at the line by Lindstrand, but the whistle blows. I guess they're going to say it came just outside the zone.
Nice attempt at the keep-in nevertheless, and a nice keep-in on the near side just a moment ago. Bulldogs, some of the passes haven't been there tonight, but this one is. Quick one-timer, loud rebound. St. Ivany takes it, turns and shoots. Another save. Gornett, a lot of traffic in front of him on that. He's had to make a lot of saves. Last year when he shut out the Bulldogs, he had to stop 35. Bulldogs are at 33 right now.
It looks like they'll surpass that for this game. Colton Kerfoot intercepts. It's going to get a face-off outside the zone.
Not to say that Harvard's necessarily sort of taking punches and just playing on the ropes at this point, but Gornett, he's been, aside from being very busy tonight, he's had to make some real big saves in net for Harvard. We questioned at the top of the broadcast, maybe why is he playing over Gibson with the way Gibson has been playing, but both goalies have sort of proved that they can compete, obviously, this season. Gornett starting and getting a few starts last year. Gibson coming in as a first year, some impressive starts when he got the call from Ted Donato in that first game. He's just rolled with him.
Yeah, and not only does it create some competition in net, but it also is good to have two goalies that you can go to on any given night to give the other some rest. It's Colton Kerfoot who carries and dumps into the zone for himself. Donhauser throws the shoulder, but it's poked to the far side. Johnson tips it up. And icing on that one.
You mentioned the rest, but it's not going to be too much of an issue because the upcoming schedule, a little weird for Harvard. They play at RPI next week, but they will not continue on to Union the next day as per usual. They will play Union on the road later on the season. They'll have a week off. Then they'll play a home non-conference game against Boston College on Black Friday. Then at Boston University a couple days later, and then Cornell and Colgate to close out the first half of the season.
Thrun sends a shot that goes dangerously through the crease, but Kaspersky turns it aside. Gregoire holds in the corner. Up to the point, Walsh, a one-timer, gets deflected back into the neutral zone. It's lobbed in by Thrun and handled by Donhauser. O'Neal grabs with the glove and carries ahead. He has Stevens in the middle. He'll send to him. Puck turned over, but it comes back to Lindstrand. O'Neal skates it. Lindstrand, the one-timer high and off the end glass. A sandwich hit in the corner, and the puck comes through behind the net. It was Stevens and O'Neal that both collided. The puck ahead for Jack Donato. He's pushed down by Lindstrand. Donhauser had to avoid the puck there. It would have been a too many men call if he had touched it. Lindstrand fighting against Dornbach. It's sticked aside by Kaspersky. To the point, Rathbone sends it low, intentionally wide. Drury skates with the puck. Drury back to Dornbach. Stolen away by Evan Smith. He gets it out.
Harvard with a little bit of possession as of late, trying to just kill some time here in the third period. Getting a couple of scoring opportunities.
Drury takes a big hit and sends the shot on net. We talked before the game, Jack Drury, which we can get to after the break. His dad also played for Harvard. We will get you more of the third period of play here. This is Ivy League hockey on the center of the top line for Harvard. His father also played for the Crimson back in the day. His dad, Ted, was an NHL player as well. One of the more famed players to come from this program.
Hobie Baker finalist while he was here. Also worth noting, Casey Dornbach's father, former Miami of Ohio Redhawk.
Phil Kemp fighting for it with Dornbach, who, like you mentioned, has some lineage with his family in college athletics out in Ohio. Puck comes to the point, 12:20 to go in the game. A block shot by Curtis Hall. Puck carried out into the neutral zone. Welsh ahead for Hall. Has it poked off his stick, and Phil Kemp will regroup in the neutral zone.
Don't want to say that Bulldogs have been panicking with the puck, but as I said before, some of the passes just haven't been there, and Harvard's been quick to pounce on some loose pucks and take advantage of the turnovers.
Foley picks up the puck there. A shot in the slot by Pearson gets deflected. Doesn't make it on net. Foley will hold at the point with the glove. Into the slot looking for Rowan. And outletted back. We see Brandon Tabakin again, who's had a little bit of ice time here in this game. The first year getting some experience. Johnson bats the puck out of the air. A quick shot there by Diorsi, but it won't go. Johnson has it picked off by RJ Murphy. Murphy's self-pass goes long and turns out with Henry Bowlby. Comes to the point, a slapper down low. Henry Thrun stays in the zone, but now tapped out by Rowan.
Nice play by Rowan to get it out of the zone there. Bulldogs getting a lot of shots on goal. Most recent opportunities you see, but Gornett standing strong. Bulldogs have done everything just but score tonight.
An on-man rush opportunity here as the puck's carried in by Luke Stevens. He'll decide to wait for a little bit of help. Donhauser down low. Donhauser to O'Neill, but his stick is lifted and it's stolen away by Jack Rathbun. Kaspersky will play it behind his own net. 10:35 remaining in the game. Yale trying to recover from a 3-goal deficit. O'Neill plays it out of the air with a high stick, so he'll have to let Rathbone touch first. Luke Stevens now with the puck. Harvard playing it out of their own end. Intercepted by Paleko, but then blocked by Farinacci, who had the second goal of the game. Farinacci scoops it in. Colton Kerfoot will race against Billy Sweezy. Sweezy gets there first, but it ends up with Farinacci. Now to the point for Thrun. Down low, Farinacci behind the net of Kaspersky. Stolen away, picked off by Donhauser. He gives it away. Baker Shore with a shot, a rebound chance scored for Farinacci, his second goal of the night.
That's a real bad turnover below the goal line by the Bulldogs there. Right onto the stick of a Harvard player and a quick pass across the crease. You can't really blame Kaspersky on that one. That's a tough one for any goalie to stop, and he was just hung out to dry on that one. Yeah,
Baker Shore made the interception in the place on the ice that you do not want to turn it over, right in front of the crease. So right there, you see Baker Shore steal it. It goes across the crease to Farinacci, and that one hurts the Bulldogs. 4-goal deficit is not an easy hole to dig your way out of.
Especially under 10 minutes to go in the game now.
They did a good job holding the Crimson off the scoreboard in the second period, but they gave up 2 in the first, now 2 more in the third. And they find themselves down 4-0. They're in desperate need of a win. They're currently on a losing streak as that puck comes out of play.
Yeah, the Bulldogs has not been a kind losing streak for them.
We'll take a break here. We'll get you the final part of this third period. You're 3-on-3. Gregoire. And they are going to have a stoppage of play here, and behind the net we have a little bit of a scrum. Foley getting involved. Now we'll get you that media timeout. We had a little mix-up on the first one. Get you to break with more Ivy League hockey when we return. Back here at Engels Rink, we have a Crimson player in the box. It's Frederic Gregoire, the senior from St. Lambert, Quebec. He will take a seat for unsportsmanlike conduct, which will give a 2-minute power play to the Bulldogs.
9:02 left, down 4-0. Bulldogs got to get something here. I mean, they've done everything but score. Some extracurriculars. This is a big opportunity for them. Probably the last big opportunity they'll get.
The Crimson get a quick clear on this penalty kill. St. Ivany carries behind his own net. He holds on. Passes back. falling was Pearson. Donhauser will get the entry in deep back behind Cameron Gornett. A collision with the goalie behind the net. And we don't see any arms go up. They're going to let that one play as he was out of his crease. He's now missing his stick at the other end of the ice. He goes back to grab. Donhauser waiting on this power play. 1:13 left to go in the man advantage for the Bulldogs. A steal right in front of the net, and the captain takes the puck and puts it in. Another uncharacteristic turnover right in front of the net, and Nathan Krusko makes it 5-0.
And an attempted pass right into the paraphernalia of Krusko, and he takes advantage. And again, Corbin Kaspersky's hung out to dry. A shorthanded goal for Harvard. And Bulldogs, the wheels are coming off the bus as of late. 2 really bad turnovers, and not really sure what happened, Bridget. They were playing well at the start of this third period, and we're going to see Nick McNabb come on in relief of Kaspersky in his second career game. He came on for the entire third period last week against Cornell, and Keith Elaine just taking Kaspersky out for the rest of this one with 8:09 to go, and quite frankly, I don't blame him.
Yeah, those last 2 not good for him. Kaspersky he thinks about hitting his stick against the wall on his way out, but he will exit this game. Coming the other way, Paleko. Picked off, but Smith grabs it, throws a big hit, and the puck cleared by the Crimson.
Bulldogs still on the power play, and it's 5-0. It's late in the game, but got to do something here if you're the Bulldogs. Just get the puck deep, try to create something.
Paleko drops back for Lillibridge, and he turns it over. Riley Walsh will send it up. 30 seconds on this Bulldogs power play remaining. Diorsi skates behind McNabb and leaves for Lillibridge. Lillibridge over center ice. Diorsi has it poked off his stick by Jack Donato. St. Ivany now with some speed into the offensive zone. He'll skate around to the near side dot, throw it through the crease, and an opportunity and a score by Mitchell Smith. The first time that the Bulldogs have been able to find the answer to Cameron Gornett.
It was one of those rebound goals. Mitchell Smith gets it on the power play. And 7:06 left. Bulldogs bring themselves back within 4. You see the replay here. St. Ivany makes this happen, takes the puck all around. Now it's actually a pass that went off a skate of a Harvard defender, and Mitchell Smith picks it up, is able to hammer it home for his second of the season.
5-1. Harvard leading with 7:06 left to go in the game. Rathbone up to Seedham. Picked off in the neutral zone, but Seedham regains control. Now Kemp. Kemp falls down and pokes it ahead into the offensive zone. Johnson intercepts. Johnson sends it center, and a shot that doesn't go for O'Neill. O'Neill gets it again. Another shot saved by Gornett. Tipped ahead and skated forward Baker Shore, but comes back into the neutral zone. Pearson sends it all the way to the near side. O'Neill takes a shot blocked down by the skates of Rathbone. Puck loose behind the net. O'Neill grabs, sending it center, but doesn't connect with Pearson.
Seems like some new life has been breathed into the Bulldogs, but is it too late is the question.
Pearson gets the puck, a wrister blocked down. Now back in front, a centering pass looking for Curtis Hall, but goes all the way down. McNabb will play it to Brandon Tabakin. 5:50 remaining in this game. Curtis Hall carries, loses the puck, but it's grabbed by Pearson. Hall now tied up in front with a Crimson player between his legs. Now it comes to the near side for St. Ivany. Curtis Hall takes a shot from the dot. That doesn't go. Pearson, another opportunity blocked. Fans on that one. Pearson behind the net, stops on a dime, sends it out front. But the Crimson able to get a stick on it, and it comes loose to the neutral zone.
Line's been out there a while. Keith Lynn able to change 3 of those 5 players.
Welsh gets the pass out front. Curtis Hall's shot deflected out of play.
Not sure if Gornett got a piece of it, maybe with the glove, but again, Bulldogs with a little jolt of energy after finally breaking through with a goal. Again, is it too little too late, but they're trying with everything they can. They're still down 4, but some great opportunities.
Yeah, that last one from Curtis Hall from Chagrin Falls, Ohio, a sophomore. Back out for Keith Delaney sends the Evan Smith line out. Tied up with Bedini. Bedini brings it over the red line, 5 minutes to play in the game. Some fighting along the near side boards, and it continues with Billy Sweezy getting physical, and McNabb will cover.
Sweezy and Bowlby still going at it.
Time to take another break here at the Whale. We'll be back with more third period action of Ivy League hockey. Back at Ingalls Rink. Yale taking a little bit of time to get back on the ice, but this isn't going to be the last time that Harvard and Yale face off this season.
No, as tempers flare, I'm sure they'll remember they're going to meet on the ice at Madison Square Garden in a technically non-conference matchup on January 11th. And then, of course, for the second conference game of the season on Valentine's Day up in Cambridge.
4:42 remaining in this game. Harvard leads by 4. It's 5-1 Crimson. Luke Stevens skates backwards with the puck, carries in, and they're going to call that one offside as they're saying Donhauser went in a little bit early.
Yeah, again, some of the passes tonight, it seems like the Bulldogs are a little hesitant to pass it. Sometimes they're just trying to move the puck too quickly. They just haven't connected all the time. Some in the skates, some have been blatant turnovers right to the stick of a Harvard player. The shots have been there, the opportunities have been there, and the Bulldogs finally broke through a few moments ago.
Yeah, they were able to take that shutout away from Cameron Gornett, who had held it through the first 2 periods of play.
Looking for a second shutout of Yale as well.
Face-off comes just outside the offensive zone for the Bulldogs. One back to St. Ivany. A long shot sent in and forces the glove save from Cameron Gornett. Rowan first to the puck in the corner. Dumps low for St. Ivany. He's a defenseman. He's traveled down deep in the zone. Diorsi now to Johnson. Johnson up to the point. Now the near side, a shot from St. Ivany. Puck comes loose. It's Johnson. It comes out to the far side. A shot from Lindstrand off the boards. A big hit by Diorsi. And Donato trying to chip it out of the zone, but he can't get it out of the legs. And now Donato carries. Final 3:43 left to go in this period. Jack Drury skates it up and into the zone, dropping for Dornbach. Dornbach makes a move and curls back up towards the point. A shot hits the legs out in front. And an opportunity, but a save there by McNabb. One of the first saves we've seen him make.
That was a pretty big save, too. He had to scrawl towards that glove side post. A big save for McNabb coming on in relief of Kaspersky. You see the replay here. Quick little backhand shot to the post and a quick one-timer. So he's getting a little bit of work in.
Jack Drury was the Harvard player with the shot on that. McNabb, though, able to snag it. Puck punched out. That might go for an icing, and it does.
If you're Harvard, you got to just take advantage of the icing here. Specifically, you got to kill off another 3 minutes and 14 seconds to end this game. Yale was able to break through, of course, before. You want to keep them from getting more shots on Gornett. It's late in the game. Comeback seems improbable at this point, but you got to keep the foot on the gas and keep it going. You can't let up. If you're the Bulldogs, same story, but the other way. Keep the foot on the gas. Keep pressing for goals.
Yeah, because you do have to play this team again, and you want to make sure that you've given them your best shot here in this first meeting of the season. 3 minutes to go. Outlet pass to Tyler Welsh. He will center. It ends up on the far side with Curtis Hull. Poked off his stick, but Hull gets it back. Pearson skates towards it and then sends a shot that's deflected off the end boards. Sent up, batted out of the air by Tabakin. Curtis Hull trying to get it back in the zone. Picked off by Tyler Welch. St. Ivany with a headman pass to Pearson. Evan Smith deflects it into the zone for himself. It'll be Jack Bedini, and a steal by Evan Smith, a shot by St. Ivany, but another save made by Cameron Gornett. Shot from the point, Mitchell Smith doesn't quite make it in, and another shot there. Off the post, Paleko rung the iron. Just about 2 minutes left to go in this game. A few consecutive opportunities for the Bulldogs.
It's just kind of been that game for the Bulldogs, though.
A one-on-one here, but a big hit laid. The arms stay down. A rebound chance and a score by Jack Bedini. And Harvard will go back up by 5 as a little bit of a letdown in the Bulldogs defense caused another goal for the Crimson.
It's kind of like I was trying to say to finish the thought. It's kind of been that kind of a game for the Bulldogs. Aside from those couple of bad turnovers to lead to 2 goals, it was like that shorthanded opportunity that Mitchell Smith had earlier in the game that all of a sudden led to a power play goal for the Harvard. Bulldogs nearly with another goal there, goes off the post. Harvard goes back the other way on a rush and is able to score.
The Crimson showing how they've been able to remain the highest scoring team in the nation. They lead the country in goals per game. I imagine it will stay that way after tonight. Puck carried up by Luke Stevens. Stevens looking for Foley. He tips it just wide of the net. It comes back out in front. Donhauser gets a shot blocker down. O'Neal carries, settles the puck, tries to send a shot in, but blocked down by the legs of Baker Shore. Taken the other way with some speed. Shore will curl up. 1:22 remaining in the game, 6-1 the score. Harvard in the lead. We mentioned earlier, Harvard has been able to score 7 goals in 2 other games. They're not quite there tonight, and an offside call as the puck bounced in.
Yeah, they scored 7 goals on Quinnipiac a week ago on their home ice. Mentioned this is the first road trip of the season for Harvard, and they're about to go 2-0 on the road. Yale, they'll stay home next week and host the North Country teams Clarkson and St. Lawrence.
Yeah, Harvard with a win here tonight would remain at the top of the ECAC standings. They would be 5-0 on the season to start. It's Johnson with 57 seconds to go. Johnson, a shot deflected up into the netting by Cameron Gornett, and I think so far he's been the most impressive guy here on the ice for the Crimson tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the saves he has had to make, some of them early in the game, diving across the crease from post to post. It hasn't been an easy night for him. He's been very impressive, especially for someone who hasn't started since the start of the season.
Yeah, not a bad option to have Cameron Gornett and Mitchell Gibson both available on any given night if you're Coach Donato. 42 seconds left. This puck's going to go deep. They wave off the icing to Abakin. First to it for the Bulldogs. Rowan, the first year, accidentally sent it into his own bench.
Well, looks like the Bulldogs will fall to 1-5 on the season and drop their 5th straight. It hasn't been a fun stretch of games for the Bulldogs. There are a lot of positives they can take away from this game. And also another positive, you stay home for another weekend of games. You just got to get back to practice. Keep working on it. Something they're eventually going to break through, and if you're Harvard, just keep riding this wave.
Shot blocked away by McNabb. Welsh sends into the neutral zone. 23 seconds remaining. McNabb plays behind his own net to Lillibridge. Lillibridge to Kemp. Maybe one last opportunity. Here comes Pearson. He skates through the zone. Shot deflected wide. Lillibridge there to grab. 9 seconds left. Fan shot by Pearson. And it's picked off by the Crimson. They'll send it in deep. Comes to Bowlby. He'll get one last shot. McNabb will cover up as the final horn sounds. And the Crimson come away with their 5th straight win of the season with a 6-0 victory over Yale.
Well, it's a young season for the Ivy League team, so you take a look at Harvard coming into this weekend undefeated. It's still a short time, a short amount of game, small amount of games, excuse me, but nevertheless, they're showing why they're undefeated. Very impressive effort from Harvard. Cameron Gornett stealing the show partially. The Bulldogs, a lot of shots on goal, a lot of good things to take away, but 2 costly turnovers sort of iced the game here in the 3rd period for them.
And next week, the Bulldogs will be at home against St. Lawrence and Clarkson. Both of those games at 7 o'clock. You can catch those here on